So we're going to do Libra, and Libra's considered the raven in the native astrology. So let's talk a little bit about raven. We've all heard the comment, rantin' and ravin', right? You've heard that. So Libras, being the raven, they do have a tendency to rant and rave about things they do not like. You know, they're great communicators. They usually have a good source of friends. But they do like to stick to one being or just a small group of friends, right? And if we consider the ravens that we know in the Norse traditions, there are two of them. We know them, Hugin and Munin. And they're up to shenanigans all the time. So if we get a Libra connected to another really good, solid, shenanigan kind of gal, like maybe a Libra and a Leo, like me and my girlfriends. I have a couple of Libra friends, and yes, you can get into shenanigans with them and have a lot of fun. So the raven is about, curiosities. It's also Mother Earth energy, and they're really good at connecting with other people with that type of mindset. They're curious. They're curious about the universe and about what the universe has to offer them. So they're Venus born, so they're really loving and relationship bound. They really are someone who puts a lot of energy and love into relationships. So when we look at the ravens like that, we can see them also very connected, very solid friendships. They love shiny things. They love beautiful things. That's that Venus energy. In fact, my grandfather had a wonderful friend who was a raven, and it was very helpful to him. It consistently brought him the town's silvery things that had been left on tables. So he had glasses and coins and chains and bracelets. And this is a true story in Italy. This is my grandfather who had helped a raven, and they are very loyal. And if you do help them, and if you stay solid with them, they'll always be there for you. They choose their friends carefully, and they stay connected for a very long time. So I love my Libra energy. I love the raven energy. It's magical and mystical, and very, very much an energy that seeks the more beautiful things of the earth and the more beautiful things in the universe. A lot of Libra people or raven people would believe in the magical realm, the spiritual realm, and because they have this inner innocence that allows them to believe in more than just what you can see with the naked eye. So yeah, raven is one of my favorites. I love them so. So this reading I'm about to do is going to be for Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Libras. So if you have any of those aspects, even strongly in your chart, you want to listen up. Or if you know a friend who is the Libra energy, please listen to this, all right? These signs are very independent. They do like to have their partner or their good close friends, but they're still very independent, and they don't like to be told what to do. They tend to take time for themselves and isolate a little bit. I think a lot of you Libras are going to take time this April to do a little bit of learning. And even if you're in a relationship, especially if it's new, you probably won't be putting quite as much energy into it as you thought you would. I think April you're going to pull away a little bit and isolate yourself a little bit and do a little bit more thinking about where you want to be and who you want to be with and how you want to live your life in the near coming future, right? So romance may be an attractive option, but I don't know. I got a feeling you're going to take some time to review or restudy or something like that, learning something, okay? Maybe it has something to do with the occult. That would be cool, right? All right, so let's see what we have for the love and the money. And so these cards are indicating the possibility of you juggling who you want to be with. Maybe you're dating, or maybe you were dating and you've got a number of people in your mind, and you're just taking a moment. You're sitting back and you're wondering, what is it do I need here? I think there's some other things that are heavy on you right now. Yeah, I'm going to say this is going to be a very reflective month for you. And it doesn't surprise me that much because Mercury has just gone back into direct formation. But that is still going to be a shadow. There'll still be a bit of a shadow on us, and that may still cause troubles with communicating or even understanding yourself. Don't make any harsh decisions right now. Just sort of sit with things and move slowly. Maybe considering going back to something or back to someone or back to something you enjoyed. Maybe getting more involved with your friends, getting back with some old friends instead of spending so much time in romance. I think that maybe you're realizing you're fooling yourself. And if you've been in a long-term relationship, I'm not saying you're going to break up or anything, but I do think there's thoughts or these feelings that something isn't quite right, or you need more adventure or more experiences or more kindness or more generosity or there's something you're missing and you're not sure what it is. I do think it has to do with adventure though, and it has to do with joy and playfulness, and maybe you're missing people, right? And maybe you're concerned about the future and what's in store for you. So I guess what I'm saying is April's going to be extremely reflective, and you're going to need to really sort out what you want and what you need. Now, as far as health goes, it does look like there's something burdening you, or some concerns or worries burdening you. And if it isn't your health, it may be someone else's. You're going to have to hunker down to get the best results, whatever that means. But I do see potential for positive and a fairly decent outcome. So no matter what it is, you put your energy and your positive thoughts towards it. I think the possibilities are endless here. All right. And the other thing is, it looks like maybe your finances have not been in a way that you can just go and spend freely. But that's not unusual at this time. A lot of people are in the same boat. So you got to find more things that don't cost a lot of money. And it does look like, nature, hiking, biking, traveling in that way, not necessarily on an airplane, or, just taking more time out and seeing the universe. But you might not be feeling like, go all the way. Maybe there's something missing, or maybe you're just not feeling up to taking long journeys. So that's okay. Take short journeys, but just do them. The other thing, like I said to you about learning or teaching or learning about something or being involved in a situation where there's some very interesting teachings coming your way, I think that's going to be the big thing. And maybe that's how you're going to be traveling in your mind, right? Or maybe there's some kind of trade. I see opportunities for money coming your way, or certainly stable energy. Maybe you're going to get back into working a little bit, or a little bit more than, maybe there's going to be a different job that's going to offer you a little bit more, something like that. So what I'm saying is April could be a really good month for you to secure more funds in some way. There's not a lot of money right now, but I would say after mid-April, you're going to be able to find a way that might help you, bring on a little bit more. You've already decided and you stop spending quite so much money. But every once in a while, you just get the need to spend money on something. I am told to tell you that it's probably a good idea if you get involved in making things, creating things, making beautiful things. I don't know, maybe it's jewelry, maybe it's something like that, maybe it's something small and detailed that you can be using your hands and putting some detail into. I think that you need something to do, and even if it's something small that you can make, or even if you were just making things and you can give them away for gifts, so you can try to sell them at a garage sale or a flea market or another store or something like that. But I think it's about time, Libra. I think you've been antsy, and it looks like you've been antsy. All right. And so without clarity about which direction to go in. So I'm trying to tell you that I think you've got some skills or creativity that you haven't really focused on. And I'm going to say this is the time for you to focus on it. Okay. Now, if you're male energy, it could be a larger craft, like Maybe it's carving, or maybe it's a lay. I think they call it a lay or something. Making things out of wood like that. They make legs and for tables and spindles for banisters and things like that out of wood. I think that some kind of carving or something like that could be good for some of you males and females, but I just see that being more of a male orientated. Also maybe pottery or something it looks like is hunting, that type of thing. Okay, now there's even a few of you here that look like you might be creating some kind of computer thing or programming computer work. I think that's going to really be good for you in the long run. So I like that. I like what I'm seeing there. I hope whoever hears this uses it to their best good and maybe books an appointment with me somewhere down the road. And there are some TikTok specials that you can get connected to right on my profile. So please connect to it. And we'll see you again down the road there, Libra. Enjoy.